Hi everyone. Well, we're nearly into February and I think it's time that we start with our Valentines. So I'm going to do a wee altar box in a Valentine style. Just now I have got, where am I? It's dark red, artiste acrylic paint, and I'm just going to give the box a coat of that. Further than that, I have no idea yet where I'm going, so I'm just playing along. Just fixing my brushes out because they're a bit messed up there. And I think I'll use a clean brush actually. There we go. And I'm going to start with the base. So I'll just, what I'll do is I'll tilt you up a wee bit because I tend to work closer to myself. Yesterday we got word that Jordan, my eldest, has been offered his own house, which is 1, 2, 3 streets away from me. Which is fine, but obviously being 16, having friends that are the same age and still living at home, having curfews and rules and regulations about alcohol, etc. I'm afraid a few of them might end up abusing his home as a drinking den. Jordan, for all his problems, alcohol he is actually very responsible with. We have had issues in the past, but he had a bit of a blowout. Was it last summer or the summer before? I can't remember. And he stole a bottle of my Jack Daniels, which was only a few halves out of it, so it was near enough a full bottle. And he basically drowned a lot and went on an absolute rampage. Fought with loads of his friends, hurt himself, hurt lots of people, and that gave him a fright, and he's never went back to spirits after that. He now tends to stick to bottles of beer or bottles of lager. He doesn't tend to take anything too strong because he knows himself he can't handle it. So I'm hoping that his friends realise that and don't try and abuse his home. I have spoken to him about it, but he's got to learn that for himself, and I've told him that it's not going to bother me if they come in and trash his house. It's not my home, I don't mind, but he's going to need to live there and tidy up the mess that they make. So I'm hoping it's sunk in. He did say that he wouldn't be allowing it, but who knows? I mean, he's 16. I think it would be foolish to say, oh, he won't do it, because I think, if I'm honest with you, if they take up a pouch of tobacco or whatever for him, it would be easily enough bribed. But we'll see. He is quite headstrong like myself, so I'm hoping that he'll realise and say, do you know what, no. But we'll just need to wait and see. Apparently the house is furnished, but from what we're made to believe, it is a double bed, a fridge freezer and a microwave. That's their furnished flat. So when he gets the keys on Friday, me and Ian are going to need to try and work miracles and try and get him the rest of his furniture together. We have said a lot of it will be second hand. Just enough to basically get him into the house. We can buy throws or whatever for like sofas and things until he's got money to go and upgrade it on his own. We're obviously going to need to buy him crockery and pots and pans, cleaning stuff, things like that, mop and bucket, brushes, so that he can start to look after things on his own. Washing machine and that, I've said I don't mind if he comes round and washes his clothes here. I'm not doing them for him, but when he's coming round for a visit to bring a bag of washing and he can stick it on and take it back to his flat, we'll get him a pulley, a wee clothes horse to put his clothes on, and he can dry them in his own house. So he's okay with that. Cooker, we will need to get him because he can't live on microwave meals. Not when he's on benefits. I mean, he's still going to college, which I'm really proud of him for. He's been, excuse me, he had some time off college when he was moving out and things, and until his money was sorted, he didn't have fares to get to college. And obviously this time of year, when Ian's work is very limited, we didn't have spare cash to fit him out day to day for college. But he is now back at college and attending every day. So fingers crossed that continues, because it will do him the world of good. The course that he's doing is route to construction, and he's getting to do, basically it's a building site, they're basically building a house, so they learn them bricklaying, they learn them plastering, painting and decorating, basic joinery, what was the other thing? Or tiling, and they do first fit electrics. They don't go into heavy depth stuff. Oh, they do a wee touch of plumbing as well. And it's basically just a taster for if they want to specialise in any of those. It gives them a little taster of it rather than going into a full depth course and then saying, you know what, I don't like this. So he's done his full year nearly, and he's really liking it. He does say that there's quite a few of the trades that he likes. So fingers crossed, he sticks it. He appears to be. Another good thing is there's a lot of, not older guys, but not teenagers, like his age group in it. I mean, he went in at 15 because he didn't want to stay on at school, and because he wasn't attending the school said it was probably the best thing for him. So they okayed it for him to go into an early college course. And that's what he done. So by the time he finishes this course, he's still only going to be 16. Whether he wants to go out and try and get an apprenticeship in a specialised area, I don't know. We have obviously said to him we think he should try and stick at college and get the qualifications on paper. But at the same time, jobs are that thin in the ground just now, that maybe would be better with an apprenticeship. Perhaps proper life skills would be better for him. I don't know. But we'll wait and see, it's his choice. He's been home every weekend since he moved out, and we've noticed a dramatic difference in him over the last few weeks. He's being respectful of our house, which is a first. Whenever he's inviting friends round to see him, he'll ask, "Mum, do you mind if Kiara or Callum or whoever comes round?" And we're like, "No, it's fine." Otherwise, before it was just an open door policy. If we said no, he'd be like, "What? What do you mean no?" Do you know what I mean? He never ever asked before. And the same with like tidying up and things. If we went in to make himself something to eat before, he would leave the packaging lying on the countertop, or not wash his plate after himself. It would just be lying on the units, or even in the living room wherever he'd ate it. And it became very, very tedious, because we felt as if we were constantly on his back. Not us, me, because Ian wouldn't confront him. Ian would just come up and say to me, "He ain't done this, that, and I would need to confront him. Don't get me wrong, 9 times out of 10, better judgment told me just ignore it, because it just wasn't worth the hassle of arguing with him about it. I just tended to choose my battles better. But now I'm not having to battle him at all. I think he's learnt to respect our house. I'm just giving this a quick second coat for the lid, because the lid, you're going to see quite a bit of it. And I don't want too much discrepancies on it. This is a lovely colour of red. It's quite a deep red, which means it can be for either sex. Sometimes I think some of the reds are too pink for a bloke. This one I think would be alright, because that's my aim later today, is try and make a few masculine Valentine's cards. There's so many cards out there, and they're all reds and whites, and the guys must get bloody sick of them. It's just not a masculine enough colour, I don't think. But so I'm hoping that this darker red will appeal to both. Craft wise, I'm going demented. Yesterday, you might have noticed I put up a notebook card Valentine's. They were basically made. Jaden has been on at me for weeks about Valentine's, and he sends them to, I think, everybody in the whole bloody school. He's a bit of a Lothario missing, I think. But rather than buying him cards, I thought I'm just going to make these wee notelet size ones, and he can give them out on his own. But when I went to try and make the envelopes for them, for some reason my brain and my hands just decided not to cooperate. So whenever I was doing them, honestly I must have made about at least 4 or 5 different envelopes, and not one of them would bloody work. They just all look silly. So I gave up. I just threw in the towel, as the saying goes. See. I'm going to leave that part. The inside, I am going to use my spray inks, but I will paint them on. They just give a much better effect for insides. So I have got Post Box Red. Ideal. Just give it a wee shake. going to give my hand a wee wipe there because it's a bit fainted. That's better. And I'm going to give round the top of that box another wee scoot round. If you'll see there round the top of it, there's some wee beard bits. So I'll just get round the top just to make sure they're all filled in properly. So just come this so you can see it better. Behave, camera. Yeah. There we go, that's a bit better. And again, I'm going to need a bowl to clean my hand. Honestly, you would think I paint with my hand rather than with my paintbrush. Right. And the inside of these, sometimes you do get the odd wee discretionary bit that just doesn't want to cover properly. But if I'm honest, I just bear with it. It's not that big an issue when it's inside a box. So all I'm doing is I'm just making sure there's not loads at any one side. Straighten up a little bit now. And I'll just let you see as I'm going along because it's kind of awkward sometimes when you're doing these boxes and you're trying to tilt away for yourself. Got a wee tickly throat this morning, it's driving me nuts. That was me yesterday online trying to find a venue for my brother and sister-in-law's wedding. They've been to visit a few, but they're having a very, very small wedding. They're not inviting a lot of the aunts and uncles, which won't go down well with my dad. But he's not paying for it, so it is their decision. And that's what we're looking at so far. But a lot of the wedding venues at the weekend are looking for 70 guests for the meal only. That's the minimum. And the most they're having is 40, I think they said. It was round about that. So I don't know what they're going to plan to do. There's a few places that I've seen that I don't think they thought of. So I sent them the links to them yesterday and they're going to go and view a few of them this week. So I'm happy enough for them. I think they've obviously decided what's best for them, and that's all you can ever ask for, really. So that's the inside of that box done, and I'm going to go and I'll come back because we're at 20 minutes. Alright, thanks for watching, speak to you soon.